Guys, the price of Bitcoin is now down to $79,000. I mean, it was so amazing on Friday when the entire stock market was dropping, commodities were dropping, but Bitcoin was holding up so well. Unfortunately, it just appears to be too good to true. So it is possible that Bitcoin with tomorrow's market open, we could follow the traditional market and continue dumping further towards the downside. Ethereum is dying, so enough said. Let's unfortunately go to the charts and see what Bitcoin and Ethereum is doing and talk about where the market could be heading next. Looking at the price of Bitcoin, we can see a huge breakdown, unfortunately, from this massive symmetrical triangle. If you guys are in the free Telegram community, the Crypto Kids community, which you can join using the link down in the description below, I spoke about Bitcoin breaking down today, and our target was actually exactly the $78,000 level. So now that we've achieved that, I wanted to make a quick update video and talk about where we can go in the short term and midterm future. So you can see that the entire crypto market is dropping. This is a very good line of support. So if you want to be DCing into your Bitcoin spot holdings or your low leverage Bitcoin long positions for to the end of this bull market cycle, then doing that right now could be a very good idea because we are hitting very important level of support. But if you ask me, okay, after $78,000, where is the next line of support? Well, unfortunately, the next line of support is actually all the way down at $73,000. So if we do end up breaking below where we are currently, as you can see on the price action, March of 2024, we hit 73.5. And then the next time we saw the retest was here right before the breakout, massive breakout in November. It was on the 29th of October when Bitcoin hit 73.3K. So if Bitcoin does lose 78.9, and if tomorrow morning markets continue to drop due to tariffs, which by the way, so many countries now have decided to take down their tariffs and negotiate with the US to have a good trade plan. But the big countries like China and the European Union are still very much strong with their tariff policy. So it is continuing to spook the market. But if we lose 78, then the next line of support would be 73.7. And then worst case scenario, $69,000. If you go below, I mean, especially 73, that would be creating a lower low on not just a daily time frame, but actually a weekly time frame, more macro trend as well. And that could signal a continuation of this bearish trend even until the end of 2025, which would be absolutely terrible. So it is what it is. Best thing to do is keep on buying, keep on stacking sats. And as long as people think it's controversial to own Bitcoin in situations like this, it is just early for you to buy Bitcoin and you still have a lot of upside potential left inside you. So let's go to Ethereum USDT and see what Ethereum is doing. It is actually dying a very slow death. Unfortunately, on bigger time frames, you can see that Ethereum is just continuously dying, now down to almost below $1,600, which Ethereum hasn't been since literally October of 2023 when the bull market began for traditional markets and for Bitcoin. That's when Bitcoin was trading at $25,000. So Ethereum is doing absolutely horribly. And it's almost at $1,600. So Benjamin Cohen is expecting 1.3 for Ethereum, 1.2 even, before quantitative easing begins, because now quantitative tightening is reducing, but quantitative easing has not actually begun. So it is possible that Ethereum drops more. Personally, I don't like Ethereum as a protocol. I don't think that Ethereum is going to be the decentralized application that all financial products and real world assets will decide to be tokenized on because it's too centralized. I don't think people will choose Ethereum for it, but I still believe when altcoin season begins sometime by the end of this year or in 2026, probably end up going to around the $8,000 to $10,000 range. So in terms of dollar cost averaging, in terms of investing in the long term, I think this is a good price to be buying. But yeah, so that is Ethereum. If we go and have a quick look at the entirety of the markets, we can go to my watch list. You can see everything is down, but remember we do have a CME gap being created for Bitcoin now because the CME futures hasn't opened yet. So likely going into tomorrow's market open, Bitcoin will end up closing the CME gap. Currently $84,000 is where the CME gap is located. As you guys know, there is literally like a 99% accuracy that Bitcoin ends up closing these CME gaps. So it's likely that in the next couple of days until the end of this week, Bitcoin does see a bounce back to $84,000 at some point during this trading week. And the final thing I want to mention is, altcoins are just, so cheap. Solana down to $100 again. Guys, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. to be buying into these projects for the long term, not leverage trading, but buying into altcoins specifically for the long term. So I would definitely recommend finding your projects, finding the ones that you like, and consider dollar cost averaging before they go massively to the upside during the altcoin season. If you want to be doing that, there are links down to the description below for Bybit, where you can be buying crypto for the first time. Let's see how the S&P opens tomorrow. I think that is what everybody's waiting for, and if we're going to continue seeing the fatality of a drop, you can see that the S&P has been crashing massively, and we predicted it pretty well here. I mean, it's dropping pretty insanely, and Bitcoin hasn't seen relatively enough of a drop compared to what traditional finance is doing. So the real scare is Bitcoin going to follow and do the same in the market open tomorrow? Now we've officially created a new lower low on the 5-day time frame, and I'm sure on every other time frame as well. So the current trend does not look impressive, and it is a bit scary. So that is the TA, and I'll share you my final remarks by switching back over to the camera. Guys, final remarks is, I think there's a lot of scare in the market. I think, you know, now that the trend has been reversed, specifically on the S&P 500, equities are going to see a bit of a painful upcoming few months. This is not going to be like a massive V-shaped recovery, in my opinion. Even if we do see that, I mean, there is a lower low. So breaking this downtrend and entering into a bullish uptrend would require a lot of bullish catalysts, and I don't think that's going to happen in the immediate short term. When you go to bond prices are rocketing. The yield is dropping now to 4%, below 4%. So the economy is looking interesting. I don't know exactly what to say, apart from the best thing that you can do is be stacking more Bitcoin, stacking more altcoins, and just trying to create a steady income for yourself where you're consistently buying every single day or every single weekend. Hopefully in the next, 10 months-ish, we should all be rich and celebrating. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of your Sunday night, and I'll see you all tomorrow morning. I wasn't gonna make a video today, but thought might as well with this drop. So see you guys tomorrow. Watch out for the CME gap, and we'll have a good show. We'll have a good show in the next 24 hours. Bye-bye.